Do you have any doubt in recoil electron? My voice is coming, right? My voice is coming or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So recoil electron is clear now. What is the difference between recoil and Auger electron? So they will ask you, okay, regarding these kind of questions. Uh, I don't think apart from this, this is important actually, but this is not that much important. Few points are here, like at a narrow angle of deflection, scattered photons retain almost all their energy. Why this is so? Can you explain me? Anybody of you explain me why this is so? At a narrow angle of deflection, scattered photon will retain almost all their energy. Why? Angle is larger, then retainment of energy will be lesser. Both are inversely proportional. Okay. So this you should keep in mind, as well as please write this line in your notebook. If you are decreasing the angle, then retaining of energy with the scattered photon will be more. If you are increasing the angle of deflection, then scattered photon will have lesser energy. So both are inversely proportional. So can be a very good question actually. So basically, what is the conclusion here? That photons which are scattered at a narrow angle will have excellent chance of reaching the X-ray film, since they are retaining their energy. And as you know, this particular photon, will not have any kind of patient detail, since it is not exactly going straightway crossing the patient, right? So that is the reason why. What is the problem going to happen here? It will create fog. Means signal to noise ratio, if I say, it will decrease or increase? It will decrease, right? Because noise will increase. So anywhere, if you are talking about film fog or whatever kind of disturbances they will mention, everywhere just keep in mind you have to talk about signal to noise ratio. That's it. Nothing else. Got it? So since there is a Compton effect is happening at a particular angle, and then scatter photon will have less energy or maybe higher energy, so these kind of things are happening. That is why it is very next to impossible to remove these kind of photons. So obviously they will be producing noise more. So if I am talking about Compton, then automatically it will click to your mind that this will create fog. That's it. So any kind of questions coming like, which will create more noise, Compton, coherent, or photoelectric? What will you answer? Obviously Compton, right? So this can be a very good question. And obviously they will, one more question can be raised over here, that what kind of filters we can use to remove what say Compton scattered photons. So basically, any kind of statement based answers will be there, and in that, it is impossible to remove this Compton scattered photons, since they are very energetic, right? And as we know, the filters will remove less energy containing photons. So that is why it will be next to impossible to remove Compton scatter. So this is 100% sure that this will not be removed. Even if we are using grids also, it will not be removed. So another question, what kind of scattered photons which can never be removed? Compton. Even by grid, even by filter, we cannot remove it. So these kind of questions can come, right? Because only reason is, so they, one more question can be asked, that why this is happening. First option, angle is large, Second option, angle is small. Third option, angle is moderate. So obviously angle is too small. That will be the correct answer, right? So these kind of questions can also come. So this is how you have to frame the questions also in your mind. You can make complicated questions as well, like since the photon is having very high energy, it will be having lesser angle and more incoming energy also. True, true, right? Incoming energy is high, angle is deflection is less, and resultant scattered photon is having high energy. So can be complicated question also you can frame. And since we do not have any kind of pathway to remove these kind of photons, obviously we have to accept it, and we have to accept the diminished quality of radiograph. Got it? So we cannot, as in all, conclusion is we cannot remove it. That's it. Even if it is deflected by 90 degree also, still it retains most of its original energy. So you can just correlate that what is happening over here. It's kind of rigid thing that we cannot remove it. So if some person is going for engineering in X-ray tubes, they should focus more on doing research on these kind of topics. That should any kind of machinery, or maybe something that can remove Compton also. Is there any way that we can find out any loophole, right? So they can think of that. So this they are also giving you one more example of fluoroscopy. So during fluoroscopy examination, many scattered radiation will be arise from the patient, and that will be having more energy, and that will be a real safety hazard for the this any radiologist or fluoroscopist, right? So again, a very good question. In fluoroscopy, if someone is getting so many radiation exposure, this is why, because of the larger energy X-ray, photons coming from the patient scattering, right? Can be another very good question actually. So you can just keep this thing also. Next is probability of occurrence. So if I talk about what is the probability of occurrence of Compton photons, Compton reaction, it will depend on what? Total number of electrons in an observer. Why? Why this is so?
Density difference.
Yes, any kind of interaction is happening, it will not happen in air, right? It should be interacted with some kind of, maybe proton, maybe electron, maybe something, some matter, right? It will not interact with energy, you would say. So any particle will interact with particle only. So if you are having so many number of electrons, obviously it will interact with the incoming X-rays, incoming X-ray photons, and as a result of which there will be Compton scattering. So obviously, what is the conclusion here? If you are having a higher density material, and if the number of electrons per gram of that particular tissue is higher, so there will be more Compton scatter. So another very good question for CRE, that first what is the probability? First option will be, is it true
Ma'am,
that higher density material and higher number of electrons per gram has higher Compton reaction? Yes.
ma'am, Maria and Yashwardhan are not able to join.
Why this is happening? Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, okay. Now they have joined. Okay. So everybody has joined, na? Okay, so basically these kind of questions can come. Apart from this, in chapter 5, also they are going to discuss that all the elements contain approximately the same number of electrons electrons per gram. Can you tell me what is this? Maybe I have already taught you. Have you heard about Na, Avogadro number? So this Avogadro number in mole concept in class 11th chemistry, you might have read na, that any kind of elements, they'll contain approximately same number of electrons per gram regardless of their atomic number. That is why number of Compton reaction is independent of the atomic number. So it is not going to depend on atomic number, but it is going to depend on density of the material. It is going to depend on the electrons per gram, that is mole of that material. So another very important question, question number 3, you can write down. You should, probably you should write these question in short format along with the lecture. It will save your time. Give me 1 minute. Okay, next thing is likelihood of a reaction. So it does depend on the energy of the radiation. Obviously, if the energy of the radiation, incoming radiation, is higher, obviously the Compton scattered photon will be having higher energy. And if the density of the absorber material is obviously higher, so they'll have more electrons to interact with. Obviously, any kind of scattered photons, if it is coming, obviously it will not interact with any kind of energy, na, it will interact with the particles. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you are having higher
Right.
density, obviously interact with higher density. So if you are having more density, obviously the number of interaction will be more, right? So the number of reactions gradually diminishes if you are increasing the photon energy. Why this is so? Because if you are having very high energy, why it will waste your time in interaction? They will go, for example, if I am giving you suppose 10 rupees, right? So maybe you will go somewhere and you will earn more money with that 10 rupees. But if I'm giving you 2 crore rupees, why will you waste time in that? You should, go visit some places, do something with that money, no? So it all depends on how much energy you are having. If you are having more energy, you will not waste time in interaction. You will not waste time in earning more money. Rather, you will utilize your time in enjoying your life. Am I right? Any doubt till now? So can be a very good question from here also. Next is, because Compton reaction occur with a free electron, obviously, means not the inertial like photoelectric reactions, they are occurring with outermost electrons. So therefore any electrons, first of all you tell me what is a free electron. Even Harsha has asked me one question, that time also I told you, Harsha, about this. Can you please tell me what is a free electron?
Outermost shell electron, which is closely bonded to electron. Oh, sorry, nucleus.
Yes, almost not at all bounded, you can say. You can consider it almost they are having zero, also zero energy, the most outer shell. So that is why they are called free electrons. So, for example, suppose if I'm considering some electron as free electrons, so what do you expect from it? If some outermost photon, some photon is coming from outside, how will they interact with that outermost electron? Can you please explain me the whole phenomena? Which one will be having higher binding energy, lower binding energy? What is the cause? What is the effect? Please tell me, na. Describe it. Anyone, please describe it.
Mm.
What exactly will happen? Obviously similar to photoelectric only. It's just you have to use the term outermost electron.
Coherent scattering is occur mostly in outer shell electron, which is loosely bounded to nucleus.
Hmm.
Also, photoelectric effect is mostly pronounced in inner shell electron, which has higher binding energy,
Hmm.
that is tightly bounded to nucleus.
Okay. So in both, one thing is common, that incoming photon should have higher energy than the bonded, right?
Coherent scattering, it is mostly pronounced in uh, low energy photons, incoming photons, ma'am.
But that low energy should not be lesser than the binding energy of the outermost electron.
Already binding energy of outer shell electron is less, so
Less. So the incoming photon should be of a lesser energy than binding energy,
no,
or should be a little higher.
to eject an electron from the atom, it should be higher than the binding energy. But in coherent scattering, there is no ejection of electron, so it's not in consideration.
Okay. So therefore, one more line they are saying regarding what Harsha explained. An electron can be considered free when its binding energy is great deal less than the energy of the incident photon. What do you mean by that? Please explain me this line. Tell me. It's very easy to explain, na? Not very tough. Ananjay, you explained here.
And
Please
should
increase
be,
your voice. Na? Your voice is very feeble.
is it audible right now?
It's very feeble actually. You're attending from laptop or what?
Laptop.
That's why. Come, just switch off your camera and then come towards the mic. Yeah, now you can speak comfortably.
There should be equal energy, right? Like the incident should have same energy or slightly more than the binding energy.
Yeah, at least more, so that it gets that energy and equalizes with that binding energy and then leave the binding energy and then move away. That's it. This is the process, no? Same thing we dealt in K shell also. It should not be very high, otherwise that incident photon will pass. It will not even interact. Same way as K shell, that if it is having very high energy incoming photon, then it will pass, it will not interact. It should be having little higher, that's it. Next thing what they are explaining is photon energy used in diagnostic radiology, like 10 to 150 kilo electron volt. Only the outer shell electron are free in the elements with high atomic number. Nothing is important here actually. If you are having low atomic numbers, for example in soft tissue, obviously all electrons will be considered free. Why this is so? Who will explain me? Maria, can you explain me that in case of low atomic number elements, why every electron is considered free? Because their electrons are not in that much of depth. They are not having that much of depth, right?
Yes.
For example, I would tell you one example, very good example actually. Uh, Actually, it is happening in China. See, what is happening over there is the elder population is increasing day by day. Elder populations are increasing because China has followed that policy. I think to one children policy. So what happened is there came population instability in their population. So what is happening is elder population size is increased, but younger population size has decreased. So the burden of that elder population, since they cannot work that much efficiently as compared to younger population, so the debt on China, like many regions of China, is getting increased because of the instability. You know that earning potential of the younger population is more, na? So that is why the debt has increased on the on whole of the country. But in case of other countries like India, the younger population is more, so the debt on the country is lesser because the earning population is more. Maybe this example is very big. I should give some other example. Uh, 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 uh. Yeah. For example, you are a very rich person. Okay, so you'll have so many of gold and so many of car and so many of land with you, right? So obviously you are very much worried all the time that I have to save it. I have to protect it from the thieves. But if you are having just a small hut kind of home and no vehicles, no money at all, so you don't have anything to lose. So you will be free. So that is why all the members of the poor family are almost free. They can sleep on the roads also, right or not? So this is how you can just compare. And one very important question that can come from this part is same thing, that higher atomic number will have higher binding energies, means more energy depth. But if in case of lesser atomic number, for example soft tissues, soft tissue, they can give you direct question like soft tissues are having free electrons. Now they will ask you why this is so. So you have to answer what they are having lesser atomic number, less than 1 kilo electron volt, right? So this can be asked. Got it now everyone? Till now everything is clear? Please unmute yourself and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt till now? Anybody? Oh my god, why you guys are joining so late? Means half an hour late. Thank god I'm recording today's session. Okay. Next thing is pair production, photodisintegration. If I talk about these two concepts, I hope that everybody already know. If Amal is there in the class, can you please explain me pair production? What is pair production? Amal is not there in the class. Yashwardhan, you explain me. What is pair production, dear?
Ma'am, when the photon interacting and having the energy greater than 1.02 MeV uh, and interacts with the nucleus, it disintegrates into a electron and a positron of equal energies. And this process is called as pair production. It generally in diagnostic radiology it does not occurs in it occurs generally in we use in PET radiography.
Yes, very good. Actually, I it was a very impressive point. The first point you told that this is a kind of interaction only. Same as we discussed about coherent, we discussed about photoelectric and the Compton also. Same wise, pair production and photodisintegration is also an interaction only. It's just that what is the difference is in those kind of interaction we were dealing till kilo electron volt, but in these two kinds of interaction we will deal with mega electron volt. So, as he told that it can be discussed in PET, so it can also be discussed in radiotherapy also. That radiotherapy, you know, right? So, these kind of interactions mostly will occur in radiotherapy as well. Have you heard about brachytherapy?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard about LINAC machine, linear accelerator?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes. So, these kind of machines will have these kind of interactions. So these are the last two basic interactions. Obviously, whatever we discussed just now can be a very important part of your questionnaire in the CRE exam. And one more thing is it is not involved in diagnostic. Yes. Apart from that, in pair production, very high energy photon will interact with the nucleus of an atom. One more thing. See, if you are having less energy, you have time to interact with people because you have to do job or etc. Falana dimkana, something like that. But if you are on a let's say you're having many huge amount of money in your bank account, so obviously you will deal with big businesses, right? So directly you will interact with the government of India or maybe government of that particular country in which you are residing, right or not? So the same way in pair production, since they are having more energy, very high energy, so they'll directly interact with the nucleus of the atom. They'll not interact with the electrons because they don't have to. For example, a common man is there and he's having very less money, so obviously they will do job or something like that. But if some, like for example Ambani or something, so obviously he will interact with the government of India to, for export and import businesses. So the same way you can just correlate with these examples, right? And since they are having very high energy and they are interacting with nucleus, so if you are interacting with the government of India, obviously they will react. So they will react and they will do something. They will give you some energy. So this kind of energy what you are giving to them will be converted into matter. Means whatever energy you are giving to the government, they'll do something in the form of matter that will be visible to all. For example, this geo you can see, whatever big Reliance trends you can see, Reliance Smarts you can see. So these are matters, right? Because since you have feed money in the government, so they are doing something in the society, right? So in the form of two particles, it will convert, and one is an ordinary electron and another is a positron. So you have to remember next thing, which is actually a very good important question. Actually, one will two one photon you have given, that is in mega electron volt. They'll convert into two matter. One matter will be electron and another matter will be positron. Positron is nothing but you can just say positive charge of electron, the opposite of electron, nothing else. And they'll have same mass, but only the positive charge. Just the charge is opposite, the rest is same. And since he told, Yashwardhan told just now that they should have 1.02 mega electron volt at least. Since there is one electron which will be composed of this much of energy and another, that is positron, which will again be composed of 0.51 mega electron volt energy. So this can be a very good question, that to make this interaction possible, if you are having less than 1.02, it will not happen. And obviously the unit you should must 100% you should keep in mind, mega electron volt unit. It should never be kilo electron volt. So these kind of questions can come. And one suggestion again, the same way what I am reading, no, for every line I'm trying to make questions, I'm trying to make complicated questions as well as simpler question. The same way you should also do. Next thing is in photo disintegration, if we talk about, so basically part of the nucleus of an atom is ejected. Obviously the same way, since we discussed in this one pair production, the same way here also they are interacting with the nucleus and they are giving some energy to the nucleus. So this nucleus, how they will react, just the nature of reaction will be different in photo disintegration and pair production. Here part of the nucleus of an atom is ejected by a high energy photon. So the ejected portion may be a neutron, whatever it can be. Na, they are having what they are having either neutron, they are having proton, or then there can be conversion also in the form of alpha particle, or there can be conversion also in the form of cluster of particles. So these are the options they will give you in exam, that after photon disintegration what are the things that can be ejected. So they'll give you an example like electron, first option, second option neutron, third proton, fourth alpha particle, fifth cluster of particles, and last option will be like B, C, D, E, like that. So you know what you have to answer, right? This you write it somewhere, this line. And I would suggest you to just paste it somewhere because you will forget these kind of questions. Once you're done, let me know, okay? These two lines you just write down, this one and this one.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, so we can continue. Here also the photon must have energy. How much? At least 7 to. See, this is so high. 7 to 15. This line also you write down. 7 to 15 mega electron volt for photo disintegration. See what you are doing. You are trying to disintegrate the nucleus. Obviously, the nuclear force is very high. The range. You know what is the range of nuclear force? What is the range of nuclear force? Tell me. I have given you example about many a time.
0.8 femtometer.
Come again?
10 की power minus 15 meters.
Yes. So this is the range. MRI you guys are reading, no? What I used to send every day. Today also I sent it. Make sure you are reading, okay? This line also you write down. This line. Done, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is relative frequencies of basic interactions. So in this paragraph, obviously they will just mention the relative frequencies, percentage of each of the interaction for maybe water, compact bone, sodium iodide. So with energies in the range of 20 to 100 kilojoule. That is diagnostic. So total number of reactions, let's suppose this is 100%. Then if coherent scattering is happening, see this one is very important. First of all, this you write down. For the range of 20 to 100 kilo electron volt, coherent will be 5%, Compton scattering will be 20%, and photoelectric effect will be 75% for this range. Done, everybody? Once you're done, let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One more thing is total number of reaction will be less for air, obviously. That's so obvious, no? Because since they are not having density, so obviously how will they interact? Compact bone, they are very dense. Obviously interaction will be higher. Iodine, barium, obviously highest you would say. All depends on the density. That's it. So one more thing you write down. Iodine, barium will be greater than compact bone will be greater than water will be greater than air. Once you're done, let me know.
Ma'am,
Yes?
total number of reaction is less for air than for water, but the percentage of each type is approximately the same, right?
Yes. Yes.
But how could be that happen? Because the atomic number is different for air and water, right?
Hmm.
So in water, and the photoelectric interaction could be the
Whatever number of molecules they're having, in that ratio, it will be like that. You're understanding what I'm saying?
no, ma'am.
Percentage remains the same, no? In this range, in this energy range. So the interaction is basically the particle to particle. It's not wave to particle or particle to wave. Understanding or not? So
Uh,
whatever number, for example, you are having very dense bone. So the number of particles are higher.
Yes, but water has more atomic number, so the percentage should be higher for percentage of photoelectric effect should be higher, right?
I'll explain it with a big para after the class. Okay? Don't worry. It's a
Okay.
very important question actually. But whatever is this is right. That I'll explain how it is right. Uh, Many a times what happened now, for example, I'll give you one very good and simple example uh, about this inertia. Okay, don't worry, I'll explain it. Don't worry, I'll explain it properly. First, let me just finish this last page. Otherwise, this will again be left. I'll explain you. Do not worry about it. One more thing is there, as you can see in figure 427. This one. This one. This is what? This is Compton, and this kind of will be current, and this will be photoelectric. This is water, compact bone, and sodium iodide. Whatever you asked just now, Harsha, is explained in this picture also. Okay, so do not get anxious. I'll explain it again. Do not worry about it. Coherent scattering usually contribute 5% of the total, and it plays a minor role in diagnostic energy range. That we already know. We have covered it. Next is one question from this part, and next question from this part. Compton scattering. It is the dominant in this range, and except at very low photon energy, 20 to 30 kiloelectron. What can be a question from this? Dominant interaction in which case? In this case. In this case, 20 to 100 kiloelectron volt. But at very low photon energy range, like 20 to 30, it is not dominant. So it can be another question that can be asked, that at around 20 to 30 kilo electron volt, write down this question, at around 20 to 30 kilo electron volt, what can be the dominant interaction? Write down this question. What could be the dominant interaction at around 20 to 30 kilo electron volt range? Done. Next question that can be asked, how is this contrast getting produced? Well, obviously because of the photoelectric reactions. One more question, this is important question. See, I am telling you every question in the class. It is your duty that after the class you are writing these questions or not. Because earlier I used to just explain the paragraph and that's it, I'm done. But now what I am doing is I'm telling you in the class itself that what can be the question, what can be the questions. So either you can do it along the class or you can do it after the class. This is your duty. Sometimes I'll ask you to just make a PDF and update it. Sometimes maybe due to work and all, so many work is there, maybe I'll forget to ask you. But this is your duty, this is your job position that you have to acquire somehow. So you have to do it honestly. Okay, understood everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to update it. Be honest on what you are doing. Be honest to yourself. Otherwise, God is watching you. Whatever you are doing good, you are doing bad. Even if you are hiding it from someone, it doesn't matter. Even if you are hiding from parents, even if you are hiding from yourself also, you are not hiding from your God, right? So God sees everything. If you are working very hard, obviously you'll get the seat because God is also watching you. So please be honest to yourself. At low energy ranges, photoelectric reactions are more common, while at high energy range, Compton is dominant. Another very important question. Just write it down. So that is why we always say that do not increase this kVp higher. Otherwise, contrast will be very bad because whatever photons you are sending with high energy, it will not waste their time in interaction. It will just directly move, cross your body, and that's it. They are free. The same way, if you are giving you 2 crore rupees, you will not waste time in doing job, etc. You'll go and move abroad or something like that. You do something. This is very important. Please write it somewhere. Harsha, after the class now, please message me your question also properly because I
Okay,
have to explain it today itself. These diagrams as a homework you have to draw, please. And you have to understand, give it some time to understand this diagram also. Summary. Basically, what is in most important in diagnostic radiology? Compton will give you noise, photoelectric will give you contrast. This we have understood it well. Am I right? Yes or no? Please tell me, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any confusion in this
Yes,
statement? What?
ma'am.
Anybody? No one. Okay. Coherent scattering is numerically unimportant. Why they are saying unimportant? Please tell me. Numerically,
less
because it
than
is
5%.
yes, it is contributing almost 5%. That's right. Next is pair production photodisintegration. They are happening above the range of whatever we are utilizing diagnostics. Am I right? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
For pair, how much energy?
1.02 mega electron volt.
102.
For photointegration, how much energy?
7 to 15 mega
7
electron
to
volt.
15.
Very good. So next is photoelectric effect is the predominant interaction with low energy. Any confusion or doubt in this? They'll not
No,
waste
ma'am.
time in interaction. They'll just move, right? Move abroad, move anywhere, do something. No, don't interact. Don't do job like that. If you're having many, how very much, bank balance like 1,000 crore something like that. But why will you do some job? No, you will not. High atomic number observers, if you're having, will have. Richa, please mute yourself. Not yet.
मुझे 40 मिनट की वॉक चाहिए ताकि मुझे ताजा ऑक्सीजन मिले और मैं फोकस कर सकूं।
Richa, are you there? Okay, thank you. Next is higher atomic number if they are having, there will be more interaction. So more photoelectric effect, right? Photoelectric effect is not producing scatter radiation. Why this is so?
It is absorption.
It is absorption. It produces high contrast in the X-ray. But unfortunately, obviously, since this is just now Ananjay said, this is absorption. So absorption will give patient radiation dose. Very easy. At higher diagnostic range, Compton is the most important. Why? Why this is so? Tell me, tell me.
The conventional radiographic dose Compton scattering is predominant interaction.
Please write down this question now also. Why at higher energy range, Compton is most common? Because the interactions are limited, no? Either you have photoelectric, either you have current, either you have Compton. If photoelectric effect is low, obviously Compton is high. If photoelectric is high, then Compton is low. What is the big deal in this? This is not rocket science, no? Radiographic image contrast is less with Compton. Why? Because it's not
Okay.
absorption. Very good. Understood, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so successfully we have completed. Give me 1 second. What is happening here? Why this is hanging? My tab is hanging actually. Yes. So everybody understood na today everything? Any doubt or confusion? Even if you're having, apart from Harsha, please mention your doubt just after the class. Anyone is having any doubt, please tell me. Either you might have already done along with the class. If you have not done, and everybody I'm telling you, please do it honestly. Since your exam notification will be out, I think maybe March end or maybe April first week, like that. So you will not get time. All of a sudden it will come. No, you will not get time to calculate that where you were in the syllabus. So at least whatever we are doing along that you complete. At least 70 to 80% syllabus should be completed. And for the old students, revision, revision, revision. Please revision. All the students also. Every morning, wake up, revision. Maybe if you are not getting time, please just before the sleep, revision. Understood? Revision will play the most important key in your selection. Okay? Okay then everyone. Bye. Good night. Take care.
That's